Good morning, everyone. It's Tyne from Muse Life, and welcome to this new moon in Leo collective activation reading, you guys. It's an exciting morning. I normally do my readings on Wednesdays, but it's the new moon this morning, so I wanted to kind of hop in and do a little reading for everybody, just kind of get us set up for a really exciting month, you guys. There's a lot of energy going on with the new moon as well. Right now, today is 8/4/2024. That equates to the number 20, which is rounded down to the number 2. And that's all about duality right now, you guys. So we're kind of facing a little bit of that, as well as some more like cooperation balance. There's a lot of that going on right now. It's kind of an interesting time because we're right literally in the middle of Leo season. The new moon is in Leo. There's definitely a lot of Leo energy there. A lot of solar flares, you guys. A lot of interesting things going on astrologically. Usually this serious alignment has already happened, but that's usually what opens the 888 portal. So this is really going to be an exciting time, you guys. There's a lot of interesting energy going on. I'm sure you're feeling it right now. In my last reading, we were talking a little bit about like ascension symptoms, if you guys are experiencing any kind of either flu-like symptoms or anything like headaches, blurred vision. In my case, it was like my throat chakra. I was getting, I think it's been like a few weeks now where I've been experiencing a lot of just like a really bad like throat sickness. And it's interesting because normally summertime isn't really the time you normally get sick. So when you're experiencing stuff like that, always take into account some of the spiritual energy as well, because mind, body, and spirit are all connected. So when you see symptoms that are manifesting in your physical body, just remember that it also is like related to things that are going on in the mind and in the spirit as well. So interesting, right, you guys? So let's just hop into our reading. This is our activation reading for the new moon. So basically, I want you guys all to just concentrate and imagine that you guys are all part of this beautiful, vast, amazing, energetic grid that encompasses the whole of the universe, connected to the earth. And I want you to connect into the cards and focus and ask the universe, set your intentions for the rest of this week, you guys, as we enter into the Lion's Gate portal, which is on 8/8/2024, which equates to the year 8. I want you guys to kind of focus on some of that energy. And let's go ahead and do our reading, you guys. This is an exciting time. There's been talks of not only the Lionsgate portal, a lot of solar flares are going on as well energetically. There's a lot of sun energy going on, right, you guys? As a sun sign, it's probably going to hit some of the sun signs a little bit more, especially Aries and Leo, of course, and Sagittarius. It's also going to be affecting Pisces too. There's going to be some, especially with the 8/8 portal, you guys, it's really a time of spiritual awakening and activation. A lot more energies in there. Also remember, there's a lot of karmic energy as well. So we're going to be alchemizing a lot of that. If you need any assistance with that, please feel free to reach out. Let me pick one card from our map deck and let's start on our reading, everyone. Let's see what's going on. Really excited about all of this. I'm sure you guys are feeling it energetically as well. Where are we today, guys? What's going on currently? How is this energetic field affecting us? What does the universe want us to know? Or what we can do during this time, especially as we enter into Lion's Gate portal. I love this, you guys, because we have, talking about fire energy, we have the Knight of Wands. We actually have gotten this card before. One of the things I wanted you guys to take notice of was the salamander. And I also call it the chameleon, because like being a Leo, you're definitely a lot more changeable. That, you have that energy where you can adapt to a lot of things. And, amphibians tend to do that. They have to adapt to both land and water, which in when you think about it spiritually, is the spiritual and the earthly realm, right? And I love that. I love that. Like, so here we have is, the wands, which is representing fire, which is all pretty much the fire energy right now. I'm really getting a strong pull towards like the Leo especially, but definitely fire energy there. And being the knight, what we have with the wands is just a new project. Leo's all about creativity and new projects. So this has a lot to do with embarking on something new, you guys, and actually not quite just embarking, literally going out and chasing it, you guys. Like I said, we're going into the 8-8 portal. We're going into the time of manifestation. When we manifest, we have to kind of get it in our head first, which we've kind of done throughout this year. We've been kind of going through that. And then you actually have to take the physical effort to go ahead and do that. So this is what this person is doing, is literally embarking on that. And I always think it's really interesting, especially when you start seeing some of the, imagery in this card. He's technically like going through the desert, but you see some of the pyramids there, seeking wisdom, so it's not just necessarily like a earthly type, earthly type thing that this person's in search of. It's actually connecting to this person's soul urge, their soul needs in life. Like, what do they want? What are they trying to accomplish that's going to fulfill them, right? And here we are. We're at this moment in time, smack in the middle of Leo season. We're going to have that. So it being the new moon in Leo, what can we expect from this? Well, there's so much energetic, spiritual energy going on. Especially with the Leo, I mean, we're all about hard work and getting things done, but we also like to play a lot. So actually expect this to be a really playful time. There's like double whammies with Leos, not only in the new moon in Leo, as we're manifesting into the full moon. In between that, we have like the Lion's Gate. There's a lot of like sun energy going on. There's a lot of like 8 energy. Of course, there's some karmic value in that, so always be careful with what you do and how you're doing it. But just keep in mind, it's really going to be a playful time for you guys. For some of us, it's been such a serious year, just as we've been moving forward. It's time, like, Leo comes in and just kind of tells you guys, hey, it's time to have a little bit of fun. And that's what we're getting at here. So what was something that recently happened, and just, something that's been recently influencing us. And talking about fun, we have the 3 of Cups, you guys. So I've been talking a lot about, like, your soul tribe and attracting that, because 3 is all about like creativity. In this particular case, sure, you got like friends and people and celebrations and just more of that like supportive energy, right? But 3 is also about like creativity and communication and just really tapping into the sensitive, and I believe that's why the Pisces energy is being affected too during this time, because we're heading into that. There's a lot of water energy in this card, so it's very much about fulfilling just your heart, your needs. So a lot of people who are like entering into like their soul tribe, really like connecting to their soul tribe, enter these like relationships that are really manifesting right now. Just like look around your circle, you guys. The people around your circle are probably, pretty close to like, meeting that for you. This is the time, you guys. As we're heading, one of the things is when you have your foundation set, like the last couple of cards are really showing someone like really getting work done and just really like just getting down their material needs, and there's nothing wrong with needing that as you progress into the future. But when you have your needs met, like think of it as a hierarchy of needs. So like when you have your security, when you have love, when you have just whatever it is that you need, or every human needs to survive. When you have that, then you can really move forward and really start, taking charge of what you really need to do. But here we are just kind of like fulfilling those needs right now. We're talking about more at the emotional relationship level of, the people around you and the people that are meant to be there. and what's kind of supporting and helping that. And I haven't seen this card in a long time. More cups, the ace or one of cups, you guys. And that is an amazing card. This is all about new beginnings. This is all about, like, in some cases, new prospects. You know, these relationships can really not lead to either a new marriage or just really, you know, soul level type communications and relationships. I'm seeing some business partners coming up too. A lot of things are coming up, and this is what's kind of like aiding and helping that, right? I love that these are cups, both, right? And they're supporting each other, because, like, you know, we hardly ever really think about our emotional needs and like what we need to do to be fulfilled in order to move forward. Because, you know, you guys, when we manifest and really try to achieve what we really want in life, if you are not emotionally fulfilled, there's always going to be something lacking. There's always going to be trying to be filling like this deep hole, right? But when you find that fulfillment, whether it be in your friendships or relationships or just, you know, your community, whatever it is this card means for you, is being provided to you. And I always love these cards because the ace is always like the hand of God to me. It's like that, you know, the hand of the universe, just kind of like the unseen forces that are like supporting you, right? You know, it wants the best for you. So here it's just like, you know, offering to you, and the cups are flowing, you guys, right? Here you have it. It's like, you know, everything that you need comes from the universe, God source. And it knows what is, you know, it knows what you need. It knows the type of relationships, the type of interactions you need. That's why I always say, use your emotions and feelings as a compass, you guys, if something's a little bit off. You know, you have some communication with that, or, you know, move past it and move on, because you will inevitably know those things that bring you joy, those things that are meant for you. And that's exactly what you need as you move forward. When you embark on this journey and you leave things, sometimes you have to leave things behind for a while or for a moment or for a spell. You want to know that you're leaving with everything intact, like everything right, so that you're going to come back with everything, hopefully in the same, you know, kind of situation that it needs to be, right? Really exciting stuff, you guys. It's something that we have to kind of deal with or think about in the future. Sometimes it can be a challenge to you guys. So, and I'm getting that there's a lot of water elements here. So a lot of feelings, emotions, and psyche going on. Here we have, my daughter gets this card quite often, so I might like ping her on this particular reading, because every time I see it, you know, she feels this. So we have the Six of Swords. So we have kind of like this, you know, there is a need to kind of leave a certain situation because of like some negative things going on. There's some bullying going on, you guys. There's some maybe abusive relationships. I'm seeing this right now. It could be verbal, it could be mental, whatever it is going on. But as straightforward as it is, not only is it like acknowledging it and understanding and seeing it, because you guys, you know, once you're like in like, you know, once you're like in that mentality where you know what's good for you, when you're starting to like really get in touch with yourself, being more in alignment with who you are, you're gonna know what doesn't feel right and what does feel right, and you're going to kind of like go, this is not for me. So there is some like, you know, just not so kosher behavior going on with some people around you, and it's not about running away, you guys. It's really about like, you know, really taking your nearest and dearest. I always tell everyone this card has so many elements to it, and it also has some fire elements to it too. It's a lot of water, so it's a lot of deep emotions and things in your psyche, right? The swords is all about mind and your perception and the way you are seeing things. So maybe you are perceiving it one way or another, because honestly, you guys, we're all creators of our own universe. So when we see things that aren't so great, when we see some injustices, when we see people being bullied, when we see things that just aren't right, part of that really stems from because we're perceiving it, right? So, and if it's getting a reaction from us, I mean, I'm going to give you some examples, like some of the things I've been seeing, and I'm not going to tell you what exactly, because I don't necessarily need everyone to know my political views, but I've been seeing some things, some really, really nasty things just with the Olympics alone. I used to I'm not really a fan of like competition anymore. Before I used to be like, oh, like I'm serious, you guys, sports or the Olympics or things like that. I'm not a fan because in order for somebody to win, somebody indefinitely has to lose. And there's just so much like, mind boggling about that. If there was a way to make it a little bit more equal, if there was a little bit more of a way to make it more like play than it is competition, then yeah, I'll be okay with it. But I've been seeing some really nasty stuff with it. And it's in my view, and I see it. And everyone has the right to their own opinions. But in my mind, I'm always like, okay, well, to me, it's just like these the people that are being talked about, or the way that the athletes are being, perceived as perceptions, right? Or this thing is really just like, okay, there's this negative light to it. And sometimes you always have to wonder, why do you stay in that situation? Why do they continue with that? You have to move on. And this is really more about, taking your nearest to dearest, or this could be either a family, or this could be your masculine, feminine, and your inner child. I always kind of like to look at it as a little bit of everything and both. So, and what he's doing is kind of like running away from that, moving away from that. And also navigating through the waters of both his mind and his, thing. Because why do you think this way? Why do you feel this way? It's good to question, right? It's good to really go deep, because, it's not so much you're running away from the problems or the people or the situations, but what you're really doing is you're going deeper into yourself. Right? You're going on this journey, your self journey. Because by the time you come back, everything I always tell people this, give people time to heal. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. I've known so many people that just go, oh, I can't get over this, or oh, I'm having such a hard time with this, or this, and this, and this. And people are around them are waiting for them to come around. I'm just like, give yourself time to heal, whatever it takes. It doesn't matter if other people are upset that you're taking your time to heal. They have no idea what you've been through. They have no idea of the situations you've been. And trust me, when you give yourself that time, rather than continually like ripping off that Band-Aid and re-injuring yourself over and over and over again, the time that you take to heal will actually generally give you time to heal, so you can learn to deal with those things, injustices, people, abusive relationships, just as things that I'm seeing right now, the bullies. You'll learn to deal with those things. And it just takes time. And there's nothing wrong with that. And if people literally like either ridicule you or, are like trying to make you guilt you for doing what you need to do for yourself, they honestly, and this is just a straightforward thing, you guys, they honestly do not have or care about your well-being, because they would understand. Trust me, you guys. Anyone that is going through anything, if they have, to take some time to heal and, go on their little, vision quest or, hermitage, which I do all the time, you guys, because I've been through some stuff. If they have to take the time to do that, then you need to honor that. And you need to honor yourself if you are the person that needs to do that too, and be okay with it, and be okay with other people's responses. Weird that this is coming up. It is, but like I said, as we enter and we level up, 8 is like all about DNA activation and, leveling up to your, to manifesting your, soul's journey. You're going to have to do some shadow work. That comes up all the time, because that's exactly what we're supposed to do. And there's nothing wrong with that, you guys. Like I said, we can't take some of the things that we, that hold us down, or, we can't take these things that kind of hold us down from our destiny with us. When we level up, we can't take some of this mental, emotional baggage with us. We have to like alchemize it and drop it, or figure something out with it. And if you need help with that, I'm always posting something. Next card. So what's influencing this? Interesting, I get this. My daughter gets this card a lot. So I'm probably going to, like I said, forward this to her so she can, get something out of that. And here we go. More cups, you guys. We got a lot of cups. So I feel like, as we enter in the Lionsgate, we're getting these emotional, really deep things going on. We have a Knight of Cups this time. So we have a Knight of Swords, someone venturing off. It. Not only are we venturing off in the physical, but we're also, when I see this, like I always tell everyone, this is like in search of and this is a helping card or something that affects this, right? Why, some of this stuff, this Six of Swords. And I always like akin this card to like, seeking out the Holy Grail, the holiest and the most valuable things to you, which is really things of the heart. Because, this is all about emotions and feelings and things that really move you, things that like, your soul's urge as you, go on your soul journey, right? I love these cards today. I love this reading. It's very like, it's very raw, but it's very real. And I like that. So your reasoning for it is like, literally, you guys, as you go deep into yourself, as you fix the things that you need to fix within yourself, you are all like, you guys like are on your hero's journey. I love the hero's journey stories because, I feel like almost on the daily, we're all somehow, in some part of that, we're all like at one moment in life. And sometimes we're even the villains, but we're all just some part of like this hero's journey, like just forever seeking and trying to find what it is we're meant for, what it is we're here to do. And it all just kind of unfolds to us slowly. It's amazing, right? I love these stories. And that always reminds me of that. So here we are just kind of like, chasing after the holiest of holy with the Knight of Cups. And that is, a really interesting, story. Right now there's a time, this is a time for more like, Leo's really romantic and really like epic and things like that. So just think Camelot, think of just the knight's journey, like your hero's journey right now is focused so much more on that because however we were trying to like chase after things right now, the Leos want to play a little bit more. So it's all just going to be like this beautiful play as we move forward, you guys. I love that. One more card. And I'm going to be doing like another reading in 4 more days. So I will definitely post that because that will be 8/8 Lionsgate as we open up into that. You guys, it's going to be some really interesting stuff. One more card. What will help us through this? What will kind of help us alchemize, this week? What do we need to know from the universe? What's it trying to tell us? Tell us. And here we have this 52, which is a 7 card. And it's the magical map shifter, you guys. I see some karmic, I see some of the 8 there. I see like an 8, the image of the 8. Universe. And number 7, you guys, is all about, entering more into your spiritual, analytical side, really tapping into your knowledge and your wisdom. Okay? Hi, Keziah. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. So the universe is just really trying to remind us that you are like the manifester of your destiny. And if you guys missed anything, this video will replay after I'm done with this. So hold tight or feel free to watch it again. Universe wants to tell us you guys are like the magical. Yeah, you guys are magical shit, man. You have what it takes to manifest. And especially right now as we enter into the 8/8 Lionsgate. Careful what you think, you guys. Careful what is going on in your head. Always tap in. Always be present. Always, just check yourself. Be like, what am I thinking now? Because is this what I want to manifest? Anything that's not meant to be there. Anything like, and that's definitely what this card is trying to tell us with the 6 of Wands is some of the mental and emotional things that are really like, grieving you. That's really like, breaking you down. We need to like kind of get away from that and learn to kind of alchemize that, because none of that, you can't take that with you as we, you know, elevate. You can't take that with you as you move on to the next level, as you level up, right? The universe is always there to watch you and just trying to remind you, you are a magical being. And anything is possible. And as you start to unfold on this journey, right? As your journey starts to unfold and you really try to start to discover who you are and what you're here for, it's all play, you guys, right? Especially during Leo season. Play. We're going to have fun this August, right? Especially as we enter in line gate and you guys really start to see what you're manifesting. Have some faith. Have that things are going to happen. I can tell you guys. And sometimes the universe is going to throw some like curveballs at you. This month, you know, last month actually, my husband just had the worst time. His phone broke down. And he's a Leo too. And it's funny because this is his 40th year. I kind of told him, so the number 40 has so much, you know, biblically you got the 40, 40 days of them trying to, you know, get out of the desert, 40 nights and days of rain. So this is his 40th year. So during that time, the number 40, which is all about foundations, right? It's really gonna like, you really have to like, that's where you grow your grit, because you start getting challenges and things like that. And it's not so much, you know, to punish you or anything. He was like acting like Job for a while, just like, oh my God, all these horrible things are happening to me in my car and my phone. And I was like, did you ever stop to consider maybe the universe is really trying to humble you, because, you know, you're here on this journey. He's there on this journey with me, and we're kind of following this path. And, you know, you don't go on that path half-assed, you guys. You can either go all the way, or you can just go back to what you were doing in your 3D world. But once you're on this path, just know there's a lot of responsibilities and things that go along with it. And just, you know, it's not so much that, you know, the universe is like really trying to like punish you or anything. It's really more about like, yeah, it's really just trying to, you know, get you to that point where you can be everything you need to be. You can let go of all the things you need to let go of. You can just like commit to yourself, commit to your higher self and what you need to be doing here, right? So, so much exciting stuff, you guys. I will post a little bit. I forgot to do it. The ascension symptoms. If you guys are kind of feeling like some flu-like symptoms, or feeling a little sick, there's so many things like solar flares and just some of that portal energy that's opening up from like the 7-7 and 8-8 portal energy. There's a lot of energy in between there. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. I will post that. Be ready for the 8-8 Lionsgate. The new moon is all about new beginnings, you guys. So this is the time to really reflect on what it is you want to bring into this coming year. It's really a strong portal, the 8-8 portal, and you'll really start seeing it manifest. But like I said, be very careful how you are like thinking about things, and just you check yourself constantly about what's going on up here and what's going on in here. If there's something not quite right, there are so many ways to alchemize that. I only give you a very few, and really this is your journey. So I really want you all to kind of remember that as well. So thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I will see you in 4 days on the Lionsgate for Lionsgate reading. You all have an amazing day. Bye-bye.